Lookuptv. My name is Louis. It's time for the news.
The news headlines in association with
Look up news tonight. President Ruto now sends 51 principal secretaries for the high jump at the National Assembly. Communicators are asking why was Asha Sharif killed in Kenya in cold blood.
Hakuna miti ambayo iko na matawi hata moja. Hakuna maji, watu wanaumia.
Natoroka kwa sababu nimejivita ndo na fukuza sisi. Hakuna mali, hakuna nyasi, hakuna mvua. Sina toroka, siko njaa kila kitu.
It's not getting any better in Samburu. 2 more die in more violent attacks.
Yippee! Kamata ploti na 349K. Oh yes, for only 349,000 Kenyan shillings, you become a plot owner at the Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki. The Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki is located along the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, only 11 minutes from the Cedar Mall and right opposite Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. This is the best place to establish the getaway home that you have always dreamt about. For every 349,000 that you deposit or pay as installment towards any of Optivent's plot of land, you get 10K cash back instantly. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Bigger is indeed better.
Just a few weeks ago, when this happened, a lot of you were caught up in a really irrelevant argument about the net worth of those who were chosen to be cabinet secretary, as if the president was trying to form a cabinet circle and at one point will need to bring all their collective wealth together instead of worrying about what they'll do with your taxes. And here comes another chance, because President William Ruto has chosen 51 nominees for the position of principal secretary. These names have been recommended to the President by the Public Service Commission, and it really should not surprise you that the names include his political friends who failed to win elections last August.
Service Commission recommended 250 names to President William Ruto for consideration. From the 585 who applied for the Principal Secretary's position, 51 have today been appointed by the head of state, ready to take up their roles after vetting by the National Assembly. Among those appointed by President William Ruto are principal secretaries who served under retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, including Belio Kipsang, appointed to the Education Docket, Peter Tum in the Ministry of Health, Charles Hinga to the Ministry of Urban Development, and Dr. Chris Kipto appointed to the Treasury. Fierce defenders of the head of state were greatly rewarded with appointments to key ministries, top among them former Langata MP Nixon Korir, Jonathan Mweke, who vied for the Kitui gubernatorial seat on a UDA ticket, Wasingishu County boss contestant Ambassador Julius Bitok, Cleophas Malala's running mate Beatrice Inyangala, political analyst Edward Kisiangani, and lawyer Korir Singoei.
This morning's sitting will kick off that debate on the address.
The names of the appointees will now be forwarded to the National Assembly for voting before taking over their mandate after being cleared and sworn in. Ian Kitani, Lookuptv.
Even after Professor Kindiki Kithure made a highly emotive vow to stop this once he takes office as Internal Security Cabinet Secretary, yet again, 2 people have been killed and 3 others seriously injured after an attack by heavily armed bandits in Samburu. The incident last night caused great despondency amongst the herders as hundreds of livestock was stolen. Samburu Governor Lali Letet and other county officials have offered relief food to the displaced persons and have called on concerted efforts to enhance peace in the region.
Natoroka sababu nimejivita ndo na fukuza sisi. Hakuna mali, hakuna nyasi, hakuna mvua. Sina toroka, siko njaa kila kitu. watu iko njaa, mali iko njaa.
In the Tuesday night horror attack, 2 herders were killed and 3 others fatally injured in a banditry attack in Samburu County that saw herds of cattle stolen.
Miti ambayo iko na matawi hata moja, hakuna maji, watu wanaumia, na within the displacement ambayo tunapata bado tunapigwa na wakora kutoka nchi.
Samburu County leaders have pointed fingers at the government for failure to contain the banditry attacks that have continued to render operations by pastoralists paralyzed.
Tukio ambayo ilifanyika, serikali hakuna kitu imefanya mpaka sasa. Bado hawa wa Kenya ambao mifugo yao ilipotea ama waliibiwa na wahalifu kutoka Isiolo hawajarudisha mpaka leo.
Profesa Mheshimiwa Kindiki, sasa honeymoon imeisha. Wewe ndio waziri. Tungependa kukuomba kama viongozi wa Samburu utoke kule Nairobi, ukuje uone ile shida watu wa Samburu County wanapitia.
Shida ya hapa, kambi zote za serikali, za JSU, za RDU na kila moja ziko upande ile Isiolo. Mifugo yetu ikifuga tu waso, baadaye kurudisha wanashunga sasa na wale wakora. So hapa upande Samburu hatuna hata kambi moja ya askari.
This comes at a time when Samburu is among the counties enduring severe drought, with widespread livelihood loss and massive displacement of populations. Samburu Governor Lati Lelelit, in the company of other leaders, presided over the disbursement of relief food to displaced herders.
Tunataka kuomba serikali na tutafuatilia kambi pia zikwe upande ya askari, kwa sababu haiwezi kuwa watu wa Isiolo ni muhimu sana, kambi zote za serikali zinapelekwa upande hiyo, halafu watu wetu hapa wanaumia.
The leaders have decried lack of efforts by security personnel in dealing with the matter. They have also accused National Police Service involvement in theft of livestock.
Kutoka hapa ukielekea Samburu West, ukielekea Samburu North, shida ni ile ile. Kama viongozi, leo ni siku ya bunge. Sisi hata hatuwezi enda kufanya kazi yetu kule bungeni. Na ukiona ile taabu tumepata nayo hapa, raia wanatoroka, wanahama, na kiangazi hakuna maji, hakuna chakula, wamama na watoto wachanga. Yani ni kama watu wanaishi hata sijui ni maisha. It's such an undignified kind of life.
Jukumu la kurudisha mfugo ama ile mali yote ambayo inaibiwa na mwizi ni serikali. Lakini serikali hakuna siku hata moja wamerudisha hiyo mfugo ambao imeenda.
The bandits remain at large as calls are made to the national government to act urgently. Cecilia Lubanga, Lookuptv.
To a country now where it is a fact that the president cannot even visit end to end in his own country. Now, President William Ruto has again seen off the Kenyan contingent to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo under the auspices of the East African Community Regional Force. Speaking at Embakasi Garrison today, Ruto said that Kenya's participation in the regional force continues to be a proud legacy of peacekeeping by the Kenya Defence Forces.
As a nation, this is a proud day for 2 reasons. First, we are sending a signal to the world of our commitment to perform our obligations by contributing to the achievement and maintenance of peace and stability in our region. Secondly, we are proud to flag off a national contingent whose readiness for mission is at its highest ever. It deserves the opportunity to experience peace and safety, and every nation desires to guarantee its people the dividend of security and stability. The unfortunate story of our dear brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and no country in the world has been so cruelly robbed of such abundance of promise through conflict, insecurity, and instability. As neighbors, with various interlinkages, the destiny of DRC is intertwined with ours. It remains, however, burdened with serious challenges, and I believe that we owe a brotherly duty of solidarity to meet DRC halfway and stand together until the job is done. We are committed to do our part in providing resources to equip you to shoulder this solemn responsibility of defending our country and contributing to regional and international peace and security.
Members of the National Assembly today began the process of anchoring CDF in law. In a constitutional amendment motion tabled by Matungulu Member of Parliament Stephen Mule, the lawmakers are seeking to rescue the suspended National Government Constituency Fund that was declared unconstitutional by the High Court.
That touches on this House. That is,
for the first time, the debate on the amending the Constitution was tabled before the chambers of the National Assembly.
Some other things, stimulus, and then you have talked about
giving a chance for the members of Parliament to give their comment about the bill that is aimed at legalizing the Constituency Development Fund, the National Government Affirmative Fund, and the Oversight Fund for the Senate. While defending the CDF that was termed illegal by the court, the outspoken MPs overwhelmingly vote to support the move, arguing that it's almost impossible for them to deliver their mandate at the constituency level.
But Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, every day, and I'm sure I speak for all the members here, we get no less than 100 phone calls of children who are at home because they cannot get bursaries. So it is not the members who are suffering, it is the people.
I want members, as we debate on this motion, as we look at how we can actually entrench this into Constitution, for us to look at how CDF can be able to handle the issues of water. In any case, 80% of Kenya, 85% is arid and semi-arid, and the issue of water is key. As we look at education and everything else, members, let us consider including this provision of water in this CDF, and this is our fund, and this is the fund that can make an impact.
Let us support this, because we are the people representing the electorate. We are the ones who know where it bites.
In a bid of ensuring that the bill sails, the Parliament has chosen to involve Articles 255, 256 and 257 of the Constitution, which allows the Parliament through parliamentary initiative to amend the Constitution without going through a referendum.
They will have an opportunity at the next level to give their views, and any other person interested. The whole country will also have an opportunity, because we will have a whole 3 months after the first reading for us to be able to reach out to every other part of this country, being a constitutional amendment.
In that case, the Speaker of the National Assembly will read the bill for the first time in the House, after which the Parliament will take up to 90 days, where they will travel to all parts of the country, conducting public participation.
Marginalization would go to the...
After the report is presented, the Speaker will read the bill for the second and third time. Legally, the bill will pass if 3/4 of both houses, the Senate and the National Assembly, votes in favor of the bill. The two speakers of the House will then submit the proposal to the President William Ruto for signing.
Both houses of Parliament, then both speakers of Parliament, should we reach the requisite 2/3 majority, will present the bill to the President for accent.
Shadrach Kareria, Lookuptv.
They really, really need this. A lot of the promises they made to you were the things they will provide for you through the CDF. We appreciate this. And the new Cabinet Secretary for Education is getting help in Nakuru from philanthropists from Germany who've come together to build a school for children from needy families. The school provides education, meals, and in extreme cases, basic needs for the children that it sponsors.
Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." It is this approach that the Live and Learn Education Center funders have taken to change the lives of children from needy backgrounds in Nakuru West Sub-County. The center has been in existence for 16 years and seeks to support children throughout their primary education, thus reducing the burden of school fees on their caregivers. The Live and Learn Education Center has a fund that provides scholarships for bright students from poor families to continue with their high school education into higher learning institutions.
We have 560 children on our program here in Nakuru, and these children are very needy, and these children need our help, they need your help, they need the help of the government as well. we're building this education center in the same way that the government wants schools to be built. It's a very sturdy, strong construction, and we're working to give these children who usually would not have the possibilities, we're giving them the possibility to be all that they can be.
So far, 6,000 children have benefited from this program, with the center also providing food assistance for a number of families and counseling sessions for parents.
Wakati mtoto alikuwa huko shule ile ya Baruti, mimi nilikuwa nakosaga chakula kunipa hiyo mtoto, na hata akienda shule anaja kulia, na akienda huko akiona watoto wengine wanakula githeri wanaja kunyang'anya, kwa sababu nilikuwa hakuna na kitu. Lakini wakati nilikuja hapa nilishukuru sana, kwa sababu mtoto wangu aliaja kukula na akapewa nguo na akapewa viatu.
As well, the center has a holistic health coaching program to create emotional healing for people who have experienced trauma and tragic life events. Pris Kanjari, Lookuptv.
We're going into a short break now. We'll come back with more news shortly.
Born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you.
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider.
If you're not able to provide, that's a challenge. It takes a toll on a man.
It takes someone who is strong enough to face it.
This is Born a Man.
Yippee! Kamata ploti na 349K. Oh yes, for only 349,000 Kenyan shillings, you become a plot owner at the Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki. The Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki is located along the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, only 11 minutes from the Cedar Mall and right opposite Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. This is the best place to establish the getaway home that you have always dreamt about. For every 349,000 that you deposit or pay as installment towards any of Optiven's plot of land, you get 10K cash back instantly. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Bigger is indeed better.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Mwangaza's light is yet to come on in Meru as members of the County Assembly rejected 7 out of 10 County Executive Committee nominees proposed by Governor Kawira Mwangaza. The MCAs unanimously voted and cited relevance or lack of it in experience as parameters for declining in their vote.
Embattled Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza is yet again on the spotlight
after the county assembly rejected 7 out of the 10 nominees for the county executive committee member positions.
It is this exercise that we did as a committee of appointment where I was privileged to serve, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that we were guided by meritocracy and we vowed never to entertain a kakistocracy. Mr. Speaker, the report that has been read by the majority leader today binds all of us as members of the Committee on Appointment and urge the members to look at it and support even the ones that we have got from our able Honorable Governor, who said that he wants merit in this great county where everybody will be judged by what he or she can do and not what he or she knows.
The MCAs have now requested their governor to propose new names as soon as possible.
The few have not made it. They live to fight another day. And Mr. Speaker, I urge the Honorable Governor Kawira Mwangaza to expeditiously go and come up with another list. Let her bring the list to this Honorable House, and the Speaker will look at the list with the nominees, and the Speaker will go ahead and vet, and we assure our public, our Meru County, that this Honorable House is going to give them credible CECs to serve in the county government of Meru.
Dr. Mora, a healthcare worker at Malava Hospital, has commended the program and said that it will help reduce absenteeism in the facility.
Kila level 4 hospital imepata cots 2 na viti 2 za wakina mama kunyonyesha, na hii ninahimiza ile kitu tunaita natural care. Hii care that is given kuanzia conception mpaka mtoto azaliwe, the first 1000 days zenye tunajua ni za muhimu. Mtoto anatakiwa awe karibu na mama kwa ajili ya joto, kwa ajili ya upendo, kwa ajili ya bonding, kwa ajili ya feeding.
In a bid to ensure proper infant breastfeeding among working mothers, Kakamega County has set up breastfeeding corners in 3 hospitals within the county.
This initiative is also going to improve in terms of our healthcare workers who used to have cases of absenteeism due to breastfeeding, as we always insist that our babies need to breastfeed at least for 6 months, yet we know that the government allows 3 months maternity leave. So you see our babies used to breastfeed for 3 and not for 6 months, and this has actually affected.
The breastfeeding corners have been set up in Kakamega, Malava and Likuyani hospitals. John Omari, Lookuptv.
Kenya's debt servicing costs are projected to jump to 1 trillion shillings by the end of the current financial year. According to an annual public debt management report, public debt will climb from 8.58 billion trillion by June to 10.1 trillion shillings within 2 years. What will President William Ruto do?
According to a report by Treasury's annual debt management, projections indicate debt is estimated to hit 9.4 trillion by June 2023, with public debt expected to jump from the current 8.58 trillion to 10.1 trillion within 2 years, highlighting the need for further austerity measures for Ruto's government. The report further indicates that the country will have to deal with a rise in debt servicing costs from the current 945 billion shillings, equivalent to 49.2% of total revenue, to 1.19 trillion in June 2023. Treasury further indicates that this figure is expected to double to over 2 trillion, which will be equivalent to 64.9% of revenue. With the government currently spending 2.59 billion daily to service debts, the report indicates that it will cost 3.36 billion daily by June and July next year, which will be occasioned by public debt growing by 246.9 billion shillings, an additional 26.1% jump in the figure, which will mean that Kenya has to look for an additional 676.5 million shillings daily for its debt obligations, after growing by 17.6% from 780.6 billion shillings spent on debt service to June 2021. With Ukur Yatani promising to reduce debt as a percentage of GDP, the new Treasury CS will have to find ways to mitigate the current 7.3%, with this expected to jump to 7.4% in the next financial year, according to the report. With the current budget running on a deficit of 862.5 billion shillings, the Treasury plans to plug this local borrowing estimated at 581.7 billion and external debt of 280.7 billion. With the international market ever adjusting their interest rates upwards, it will be up to the government to find proper ways to mitigate what stands to be a crisis in the running of President Ruto's affairs. Lisa Minor, Look Up Business.
Trade and Industrialization Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria says the Kenya Kwanza government is keen to revive textile industries and boost locally manufactured clothing. In fact, Kuria says as soon as he can, he is going to ban mitumba.
According to CS Kuria, the plan will create job opportunities for youths as well as eradication of second-hand clothes in the country. Kuria has also said the government is planning on constructing a special national cargo airport to ease operations at JKIA.
I want to see a Kenya whereby every Kenyan can afford decent new clothes. Yeah? Here in Remuru, Virginia Kirago, even in Misri, and farmers and Karanji, I want to see those people wearing clothes made here in Remuru that are affordable. And I have no regrets about that. Once we create jobs here, everybody can afford our clothes.
Elsewhere, CIC Group kicked off the sale of its 50-acre land located in Kiambu. The land, which is part of a 200-acre property neighboring Tatu City, has been subdivided into quarter-sized plots for easier purchase with prices starting from 7 million shillings. Finally, traders at Nanyuki Market have lamented the poor condition of the market, saying they lack basic services like water, proper sanitization, and street lights. The traders have said the lack of streetlights have forced them to close their businesses early for fear of insecurities. The traders have also asked Laikipia County government to continue the infrastructure projects of the previous county government. Edwin John Mokora, Look Up Business.